Okay, I'm not really sure why the last video cut off, but you're going to remember, just keep your words as straight as possible. Make sure to put a space in between each word. Those little red dots will help you know where to put the next word so that you can keep them spaced out. I won't do this part, but you will trace over this. Please take your time and trace over it correctly, because it's going to help you then write the next line by yourself and do it well. So trace over it neatly, take your time, and then on the line below, you're going to write it by yourself, and you're going to write it as neatly as you can, making sure that you have spaces between the words, making sure that you form the letters exactly the way that the example shows you, and making sure that you put your period at the end. And don't forget to flip it over and do the back as well. Alright guys, so we are going to work on your phonics paper together. If you will pull that out, I know it's tiny up here, but you should be able to see it on your paper. The directions for the top say to mark the vowels and then read the words. So that's pretty easy. We don't have any special sounds this time. They just want us to mark the vowels. So remember, if a word has one vowel, you would mark that vowel with a smiley face. That's going to be a short vowel. And if a word has two vowels, we're going to mark the first vowel with a long sound, because it'll say it's a long sound, and then the second vowel is silent, so we would put a slash over it. So let's look at the first one together. We have G-I-F-T. They've already done that one for you. There's one vowel, so you would mark it with a smiley face. All right, the next one, H-I-B-E. I see two vowels, an I and an E. So what are we going to mark that first I with? Two vowel rule says we're going to mark the first one with a long symbol, and the second one we're going to slash because it is silent. All right, let's look at Fee. How many vowels do you see? F-E-E. I see two vowels. So how would we mark that? First vowel is a long sound, and the second one is silent. Okay, let's look at the next word. Let's look at the next word, poke. P-O-K-E, I see two vowels. The first one will say it's long sound, and the second one says nothing. So we're going to put a slash over it. Okay, and the last word only has one vowel, so that's easy. We would mark the one vowel with the smile, because the vowel is going to say it's short sound. Okay, down here, just like on the paper we did earlier this week, we have some words over here. We're going to figure out those words, and then we are going to read the sentence, and we're going to figure out which sentence these words belong in. So let's look at our words first. Our first word has two vowels, so I'm going to mark it, and then I'm going to read it. Lake, lake. So the first word is lake. The second word has two vowels also, so the first one says it's long sound, second one is silent. Now let's read it. Meal, 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 like something that you eat, like dinner or supper or breakfast, a meal. Okay, my third word has one vowel, so I will mark it with a smile because that vowel will say its short sound, which would be a. So now this word would be bus, bus. So I have lake, meal, bus. And then my last word has one vowel, so I would mark it with a smile. And I know that that vowel is going to say its short sound. So this word would be sun, sun. So I have lake, meal, bus, and sun. Now let's look at our sentences. This is a name. Short O sound because there's only one vowel. Tom, Tom. All right, two vowels. Ate his. Tom ate his. Now which one could he eat? A lake, meal, bus, or sun? His meal. So we're going to write the word meal. M-E-A-L. Meal. cross it out because we used it. Now let's go down to the second sentence. I have one vowel. This is a name. I know that that I is going to say I because there's only one vowel. Jill. Same thing with the next word. Jill. Short I here. Will. Jill. Will. Now there's two vowels in the next word. First vowel is going to say it's a long sound. Second one is silent. So that's going to be I. Ride. Jill will ride the. Now which one can she ride? The lake, the bus, or the sun? Which one do you think? Jill will ride the bus. So we will write bus. B-U-S. And we will cross it off our list because we used it already. Now let's go to the next sentence. One vowel. Rick. One vowel. Got. Rick. Got. All right, one vowel on the next word. Rick got wet in the. Okay. Would Rick get wet in the lake or would Rick get wet in the sun? Because those are the two words that we have left. Rick got wet in the lake. L-A-K-E. And we're going to cross it off because we used it. So we know our last one should be sun. Let's see if it makes sense. God, because there's one vowel, so it's going to say a short sound. God, two vowels, made the sun. Does that make sense? God made the sun? It does. So we're going to write it here in the blank. God made the sun. Now let me pull this up a little. Right? Okay, on the bottom, you're just going to figure out which letter goes in the blank to make a real word. So let's try the first one. If I put I in the blank, and there's only one vowel, it would say it's short sound. This would say Kim. Well, yes, Kim sounds like a name to me, so that would be a real word. So without even having to try the O, I know that the I is correct. So I'm going to bubble in the circle under the I. All right, let's try our next one. We have a U and an A. So we're going to figure out which one, the U or the A, is going to make a real word. Let's try the U first since it's written first. G-U-M. One vowel. It's going to say it short sound because there's only one. So let's sound it out. Gum. Is gum a real word? It is. So we're going to bubble in the U. We already know that's the correct answer because that's a real word. So we're going to bubble in the circle under the U. Now let's look at this next one in the little pink bubble. I have an A and an I. Let's try the A first. H-A-D-E. That's going to give me two vowels. So that means the first one will say it's a long sound and the second one is silent. So now let's read it. Hade. That doesn't sound like a real word to me. Maybe let's try the next one. Let's try the I. Okay? Two vowels. So the first one says it's a long sound. The second one is silent. So now let's read it. Hide. Is hide a real word? Hide. It is. So we would bubble in the bubble underneath the I for the word hide. Now let's look down here at this bottom yellow oval. We've got an O and an E. So let's try our O first. C-O-A-T. So since there are two vowels, we're going to mark the first one would say it's a long sound, the second one is silent. And let's read it. Oat, coat. Is coat a real word? It is a real word, so we don't even have to try the other one. We're just going to go ahead and bubble that one in. Coat. All right, let's try the next word. I have an I and an A, so we're going to try both of them. Let's put the I in first since it's first. Two vowels, so the first one will say it's a long sound and the E is silent. So let's try long I. Gite, gite, gite. Does gite sound like a real word? No, so let's try the next vowel. Let's try the A. Two vowels. First one says it's long sound. The second one says nothing. What about gate? Gate. Is gate a real word? Gate. It is a real word. So we're going to bubble in the A for gate. The bubble under A. All right, last one. It's a little bit hard to see. I've got a U and an O. So let's put the U in first. It's just one vowel. So it's going to say a short sound, which would be So let's read it and see if it makes a real word. Tum. Does that make a real word? It doesn't sound like a real word to me. Let's try the O. So let's put O in the blank. All right. One vowel. So it's going to say a short sound, which is ah. So let's try it. Tom. Tom. Does that sound like a real word? It does. It sounds like a person's name. So we would fill in the bubble underneath the letter O for Tom. And if you need to go back and see the answers, you can pause the video and then move on to this part. Okay, let me erase the board real quick. We're going to flip the page over and take a look at the back. All right. On the back, our little froggies have some special sounds. I see tr, cl, sh, which you can't see because the glare is kind of bad, st, br, and dur. So now we need to figure out which one of those special sounds is going to be at the beginning of each one of these pictures. And then we're going to write it in. So my first picture is stop. Well, I actually can see it right here. Stop starts with ST. So I would write the blend, or the special sound, ST, for stop. Now let's look at clock. 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 What two sounds do you think clock starts with? Clock, clock. A C and an L. Clock. Very good. Now this one, we're looking for the special sound at the end of the word. They gave us fi, and we have to see which ending sound is in the word fish. 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 I hear sh. And which one of our special sounds says sh? See if you can figure it out. It'll be up here. Okay. S, H. Sh, sh, sh. Good. Okay, now we're going to go down here, and our special sound will be at the beginning of the word. I have a picture of a dress, so I'm listening for dr, s, dress, dr, 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 dr. Which special sound says dr, dr, dress? D, R, dr, dr. Now make sure not to flip your D's and your R's around, okay? Because the next one, our special sound, we have got a picture of a brick. And we're trying to figure out which special sound comes at the beginning of brick. 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 Brr. Brr. Okay, I hear a brr. B-R. Make sure you write a B-R, not a D-R like the one before it. Okay, gotta make sure it's turned the right way. All right, and our last picture is a train, train, train. So which special sound do you hear at the beginning of the word train? Train. Tur, tur. A T, R for train. All right, good job on your papers today, guys.